Hello everybody, Hypermariosunshine here, and we are here for my review finally of Pikmin 4. So yes, this has been a long-awaited review for me to do, and there is plenty more reviews to come. I haven't used my capture card in a while. There's been a lot of hectic stuff going on. So, without further ado, we're going to be going over what I thought about the game. I completed 100%, but we're not going to be going to any spoilers and such in this video. So, we're just going to be discussing about my favorite things about the gameplay and everything else that this game has to offer. And, yeah, this game, I just gotta say, wow, did they really knock out of the park with how much content they have. So, normally, Pikmin games are pretty short, as we've seen in the past with Pikmin 1, 2, and 3. Actually, less so too, but it's still quite a bit short. But this game really lengthens it up for more than 2, and it's definitely much bigger than 1 and 3. But and it has some additional content as well that we'll go over. But as for usual Pikmin gameplay, it does have all your standard Pikmin that we've seen throughout the years. But we also have the addition of 2 new Pikmin, that being the Ice Pikmin and the Glow Pikmin, who can only be used during the night and cave sections of the game. So yes, there's plenty of things that the Pikmin can obviously do, as seen in previous installments, but with the addition of Ice Pikmin, they allow it to freeze water, even freeze enemies for a certain period of time. So it allows for additional strategy. You bring some Ice Pikmin with you, and it could make some fights easier. It could also make traversing the area much easier as well. And as for the other Pikmin types, a lot of them have remained the same or have gotten some changes that actually fix them. For example, the purples can now latch onto things instead of just instantly falling down. So let's bring out this one purple here. And yeah, he could just hit that. If it was a much large one, he could actually latch onto it and actually hit it. They could do the same thing for enemies as well. So if we were to go to the Pikmin, for example, we'd be able to show that off. And actually, I am going to go to the Pikmin so that way we can show off some of the gameplay elements. And something new that was added, which was Otachi. So let's go and fight the giant, this Bulborb here. So yes, let's go and engage with it. So yes, we now have the dog companions with us, and our player character here, which you can name and design out after anything. I decided to name mine Shamir after Fire Emblem, the Fire Emblem character. But yes, so with Otachi, I don't think I'm spelling its name or saying its name correctly, but anyways, the dogs have a new mechanic. So if you're either using Moss or Oachi, there are some new mechanics. You could obviously ride on them, and all your Pikmin will come with you. You could also do command tasks, so you could actually have you could actually command him to do a task. So you could actually split off tasks. For example, dismount. You could have him move somewhere across the map, or go to base, or to even pick up items. Now, there's also a few other things that they could do. They could also throw Pikmin as well, so if we could dismount and switch, they could also throw Pikmin and go on their own. So yeah, you could control them and be able to tackle and even attack enemies with your bite. It's also upgradable too, so yeah, it's pretty expansive that Pikmin now has like this upgrading system instead of you just like finding it as like a treasure or something. So I really like that. It makes it feel rewarding if you manage to upgrade everything. And also the chargeability is something new. I've managed to get the final upgrade for it, which is an infinitely sized one. But you'll start off eventually with like a much slower charge, and you won't get this stun effect either. As you can see, there's the chomp as well. So yeah, you could have a lot of strategy and a lot of ways to upgrade and replay the game. You can even have like your own playthrough where you don't use Otachi that often for battle. You could just go standard Pikmin gameplay and just throw them around. Yeah, the controls are very silky smooth. I think this is the best the Pikmin AI has ever been. Like, every game is just an improvement on the previous one, and it's just really good. And the music as well, I gotta say, I enjoyed the music throughout the entire series, but this game has some amazing tracks. Battle themes and even the overworld themes are much more peaceful and calm. The battle themes, on the other hand, are definitely the best in the franchise, in my opinion. Especially the final boss. I won't say the spoilers for it, but wow, that is an incredible track. I haven't been this amazed and adoring a track like that in a while. So I highly recommend, if you haven't beaten this game yet, that final boss is something else. As for the graphics, obviously this is one of the best looking games on the Switch. The textures on the ground, it makes you really feel like you're looking outside in this nice, like, CGI world that they're in. Like, this literally looks like something you'd see in a movie theater. This is running on the Switch. This is incredible what they're capable of doing with, you know, something that isn't on par with the current gen. And, you know, the Switch is going to get a new console later down the line. We're going to get a successor to the system, so I can't wait. If they're going to make Pikmin 5 on that, I'm all for it, because it will look stunning, especially with the rumors for that. But enough of Switch 2 or Super Switch rumors. The Pikmin 4 is just utterly amazing, graphically and just visually in general. As I mentioned before, the music. And we also have a ton of areas to explore. Usually Pikmin games have 4 areas and maybe a 5th small area to explore, but this game had more than that, and including an entire side mode similar to Pikmin 3 where you play as Olimar. But I feel like this one actually expands on Olimar's story rather than, oh, we're collecting treasure for collecting treasure because the president told us to. But no, you actually get to use Olimar as if it's like a retelling of Pikmin 1, but in this game's universe. So yeah, the story behind this is that Olimar was lost, and he had a limited amount of like oxygen left in his system, and he needed to get saved. But unfortunately, by the time the rescue corps appeared, they also crash landed, which they had an emergency recruit come, which is you, and that's how the story begins. You have to rescue the entire rescue corps, and you also have to rescue a lot of the people who also crash landed here, hearing Olimar's SOS signal, and you also have to rescue Olimar himself. So yeah, this game has a lot of content. It's got multiple treasures to collect, it's got multiple enemies to face off with, and the new Dandori battles are also amazing. They're a treat. So we'll be actually heading back to show off these 2 things. And yeah, you have this nice little overworld here that preps you up, and you also get to collect a few Pikmin, like sprout some new Pikmin, so that way you feel if you're a little bit, have a few fewer Pikmin than you thought you needed, then you could obviously get some Pikmin here. It's a nice quick way to get some for the start. So yeah, you have your Dandori battles, which involve you facing off against someone else who's using a Dandori with like a dog, and collecting treasures, enemies, and trying to even sabotage each other by attacking each other, or even sending bombs to the other's base to remove points from them. So yeah, it's a point system, and whoever has the most points by the end wins. And it's a very fun mode. And also there is Dandori Challenge. So in the game you'll find leaflings, and they will ask you to do a challenge and rack up as much points as possible by collecting treasures and enemies. And you obviously have to beat their high score, which is the bronze medal. So yeah, there's also a ranking system. So if you perfect everything, you'll get yourself a nice platinum one, the best rank. And obviously, if the lower you go, the lower the ranks of gold, silver, and bronze. So yeah, both of the game modes are very fun and expansive. They give you a whole bunch of difficulties, and you can even play against your friends. So there's that as well. If you have local multiplayer, that is a great way to play with your friend. And also, this game has local multiplayer in the story mode, as one could control Oachi, or Tachi, whatever. I know I've been getting that wrong. Or correct, whatever. And also the overworld here, the little nice hub area, has a lot of people that you could eventually meet with and interact with, and they'll even give you some side missions as well. So some side quests as well, which has never been seen much in Pikmin in general, which is honestly pretty cool. I like how they added that, because it gives a bigger, it gives us even more missions to do. It makes it even more bigger than what we would originally expect with Pikmin. Now, like with most Pikmin games, I know a lot of people are divisive over them. Obviously, there is Pikmin 2, where people dislike the RNG of the cave system, and this game fixes that problem. The caves are no longer RNG based. You could actually go through them, and they're all the same no matter when you come in. So yeah, if you ever go back into the cave, it won't be random. You will actually be starting at the same level you started with. So it makes for replayability much easier when going through each of these caves. So yes, they basically improved one of the problems a lot of people have with 2. And it also made grinding Pikmin much more easier as well. Instead of taking hours to grind whites and purples in the underground, within the caves, it actually doesn't take as long, because the Pikmin buds actually respawn rather quickly, so it doesn't take hours upon hours. And I honestly really like that change. It makes grinding a lot less tedious, and it makes it easier to obtain the Pikmin that you need for certain areas, or even for certain treasures. Now, I can't say that this game is like perfect. It definitely has a few flaws. And that being that, I feel like that they could have done a few more returns. That might just be me, like a few more returns of some enemies. I feel like could have been used. And also the fact that there are there's some minor things, like there feels like where you should jump over but you can't, and it makes like a weird slope effect, like where Otachi won't necessarily jump over something. It's kind of weird in a way. Like this, for example, like it's kind of weird. Also, the game does kind of feel a little bit easy here and there, but I feel like that's also if you're a lot more prepared than usual. Obviously, there is a more difficult mode with Olimar's story, if you want something with more challenge. And the puzzles are pretty great overall. I haven't really found a puzzle where I was dreading something. Although there are some some enemies that I feel like should have appeared more often. I feel like there's some underutilized enemies. So I feel like this game tends to focus on some enemies more than others, and even some boss enemies as well. There's some that are just only appear once and that's it. Even the water wraith, the infamous water wraith, makes multiple appearances in this game, which is pretty cool because that is one of the most memorable things about 2, and they brought it back for 4. But yeah, there are some other bosses that I would like to discuss about, like Groovy Longlegs. They're an amazing boss fight, but you can only fight them once, which is kind of crazy. It's one of the only few tracks for a unique boss fight, and they didn't keep it, which is kind of unfortunate. I mean, all bosses have like their unique theme, but I don't know. Groovy Longlegs just stood out as my second favorite boss of the game. But I feel like, yeah, there are some enemies that could have used more screen time. And also, the fact that, like, a lot of these side missions are a little bit tedious and, like, redundant. Like, obviously, these guys will keep telling you to do the same mission over and over again to collect bloom 300 Pikmin, or collect or sprout 300 Pikmin. It gets a little bit tedious, but also does help with collecting the material, which is a new mechanic. And also, I feel like a lot of the, while they do have some nice dialogue and some funny gestures here and there, the people throughout the hub world, I feel like some of them, I feel like we could have used a little bit more side missions, but that's just me. And also, just some more interesting dialogue. Maybe if they were, like, reacting to each situation that occurred as the game progressed, and they mentioned new things that were going on. And some that might even help out the player. But again, I don't know if I missed anything out, so that's just my own experience. I could be wrong. But overall, I gotta say, this game was absolutely wonderful. It was such a treat. And again, there's a lot to explore around here, and it even gives you, even throughout the game, it gives you what you can do. And also, I haven't even mentioned the last thing I wanted to mention. As you can see here, there's 6 worlds, well, 6 areas to explore, which is probably the most for a Pikmin game. But yes, there's also the night exploration, which is also really cool. In this mode, you it's kind of like a tower defense of sorts, where you use glow Pikmin and you can defend the you have to defend these towers of sorts that the glow Pikmin respawn from, and also give you the juice needed to actually restore the leaflings that you find throughout your journey, which is really cool. I really like how the nighttime is seen as more dangerous, especially with them coming after the thing that you're defending. And the enemies do get really scary, especially the music that goes along with it. This game really knows how to ignite the fear within you, and both in the day and night, which is really impressive. But overall, yeah, this has been probably in my top 3 favorite games of this year, and I honestly can't wait to judge it for whenever I do my best of 2023 video, because this game has been utterly amazing, and I can't wait to discuss about it at my end of the year video. So anyways, love my videos with that like button. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you all so much for watching my Pikmin 4 review. And let me know down below what you thought about the game. What did you like the most about it? Any favorite things about the game? And what were some of the stuff that you wish that the game might have? I know some people want some DLC for this game as well. Maybe some other side story stuff, or even just some more side quests. Who knows? But just let me know down below what you guys would like to see more from this game, or even a potential Pikmin 5. So yes, thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to give Pikmin 4 a 9.5 out of 10.